Hey everyone, this is my Patreon Proud reaction to the first episode of Bakemonogatari. Now, a Patreon Proud reaction basically means it's a reaction series that was requested by a Patreon supporter at a high enough reward tier to do so. If you're interested to learn more about how that works, you can go to my Patreon, which is linked in the description box below. Now, before you get too excited, this is a semi-blind reaction, which means I have seen the show before. Now, if that's a deal breaker for you, then you can feel free to click off of the video. You won't hurt my feelings or anything. I know that many people don't care for any reaction that's not blind, and I'm okay with that. So, I do want to kind of explain how this came to be, though. Now, I had a Patreon supporter that wanted me to react to Monogatari because I have already seen most of the Monogatari stuff, but some of the more recent stuff I have not seen yet. So it may make sense for me to start way later into the new stuff that would be new for me. However, I didn't really want to do that because I'm the kind of person that likes to, if it's been a while since I've seen the earlier seasons of something, I wouldn't want to just jump into the new season. I would want to rewatch that. And that's especially true for a show like Monogatari, where there's a lot of plot lines. It's pretty complex, so if I don't really want to go into something being like, huh, what was the last thing that happened with this character again? It was, and especially if I'm going to be reacting to it, I don't want to. That's a good way to look foolish, just to forget a lot of stuff and be like, oh yeah, that happened with this character, didn't it? Or just be, I did not want to be confused. Basically, is my point. So I kind of wanted to rewatch the older stuff. So I just went back and forth with the person that wanted Monogatari reactions. Basically, we came to an agreement that would allow me to do semi-blind reactions to all the old stuff that I've already seen, and eventually leading up to the new stuff, which will be Monogatari. Now, I will also be doing Kyuu Monogatari, the prequel movies at some point. I haven't decided when I'm going to do that, but that will also be a fully blind reaction because I have not seen the movies yet either. But aside from the movies, what I have not seen yet would be Monogatari and Koyomi Monogatari. Everything else besides that stuff I have already seen, which of course includes Bakemonogatari. So that's kind of where I'm at with this. I know it may have been a bit complicated to follow, but the titles will have semi-blind in it when relevant, so it shouldn't be too confusing because of that. But anyway, I do really like the Monogatari series. I'm a big fan of it. I think it has cool characters, very interesting plots, you would say. But yeah, I like it a lot. I don't have a lot to say about it right now. But if you've seen the show, you know why it's so great. So I don't really have to. As I watch it, I'm sure I'll be more reminded of specific reasons why I liked it. But I remember that I did. I remember that I did. So what else did I want to say before I got this rolling? Well, I do have to explain how I do things. I did not show the full anime footage in the reaction video for copyright reasons. I'll show subtitles and a timer down here so you could sync up your own copy of the show to my reaction. That's kind of how I do things. So, I think that's everything I really wanted to say, so let's just get on into it. 3, 2, 1, play. We gotta start with those cinematic black bars, of course. And of course, you gotta have a panty shot in the first few seconds to make sure no normies accidentally stumble upon this show. That's a very important thing to do, especially if they're actually really nice looking ones like those. And they are very, very stylish. You really should praise her for those, Araragi-kun. Just saying. Should probably be okay with that. Hanako was cool like that. Blood. Yeah, this part came out so long before the Monogatari movies actually came out. It probably really sucks for people that watched this when it came out and really wanted to see this stuff in context. Which I will do at some points. But yeah, I just know the prequel movies are basically him meeting Shinobu and becoming what he becomes, basically. And a bit of a teaser of characters yet to be met. You really shouldn't rush upstairs regardless of how late you are. That's a good way to hurt yourself. And man, this is a fancy school. Like, that's a nice staircase. I would probably prefer to have an elevator after a week or two of school, but it's still a cool elevator. Oh no! Catch your Araragi-kun, you don't want to let your girlfriend drop to her death. It's a horrible way to start an anime. Well, his future girlfriend. Seriously, you might want to go catch her. Or you can just wait for her to come to you. Okay, there we go. Now we're making some effort to catch her. Well, yeah, it's generally a good idea to not let somebody die right in front of you if you can avoid it. No, you were right. She's cool. Best to keep her alive. Well, that's a good thing. If she wasn't, you might have strained a muscle catching her. I feel this is the problem, I'll be honest. It would make a Princess Carry competition much easier. And our opening. Staple. Love is a staple, after all, for those of you that have watched K-On! I'm sure there's not a lot of overlap between Monogatari and K-On! Fans, but, you know, still. But yeah, trust me, Araragi, you are going to be very happy you made the decision to help her. That will pay off in the end, trust me. Yeah, this is definitely my least favorite of all the Monogatari openings. It's not bad, but there's just a lot of better ones later on. I wonder how different the show would be if he never met Senjo Gahara. Wonder who his girlfriend would have ended up being. Well, probably Hanakawa. Maybe. Now we begin our Hitagi crab arc. With our crabby girl. And my band is coming off. Time sure flies. There's really not a lot of anime that start with the characters being in their third year of high school. It's pretty uncommon. Sure, why not? Yeah, can't go wrong with democracy, I suppose. I'm sorry I was born with it. I'm a rebel. That's why you like me. That was some nice visuals. She also doesn't know everything, she only knows what she knows. Nothing? Of course, the classics. I kind of picked up that from the context, but thank you for clarifying. Araragi-kun. Yeah. I kind of caught her the other day when she fell from a staircase and she was oddly light, so that'd be a good topic of conversation. I just really like that pen. I think it's a cool name. It does sound like it. Yeah, that's not really weird, is it? No, she doesn't. Indeed. Just a coincidence that everything you ask she knows doesn't mean she knows everything. What is it? Does he not usually stretch? Oh. Well, to be fair, this one was a beautiful girl that fell into his arms, so, you know, it's understandable that he would be interested a bit. But yeah, a little bit of that jealousy from Hanakawa. It's a hard question to ask. Sort of tsundere. Doesn't mean I ever talked to her. Can't read upside down. Well, that's good. We already have a rebel here, so... For some people, it's more gold than others. Well, maybe Araragi should be her friend. I think that's what she implied, yeah. But quite obviously something happened between then and now for the drastic personality change. Well, things definitely changed. She sounds pretty great from this description. Air Crepe Cafe. Oh. Are you also having an interest in her, perhaps, Hanako? Because I could get behind that. Yeah, and if that's the case, you really shouldn't jump from staircases. Especially in a skirt. He was probably just lonely, wanted to visit. Or that. Also a possibility. Yeah, he's helped us out a lot. We wouldn't want to do that. Oh. She tracked me down. Hello to you too, Senjo Gahara. We were just talking about you, not in a weird way. Please take the knife out of my mouth. Well, that's because your fault. You stuck it in my mouth. It's thing's supposed to be the other way around. All I did was catch you. I think this is an overreaction. No. You see this in such a soft and nice voice, but what you're doing is still pretty bad. I wonder why there was a banana there. Clearly someone's been monkeying around. I don't think you're completely weightless. Yeah. Wouldn't you just kind of float away if you were? That was a nice shot. Wow, that is pretty light. I could probably pick you up, and that's saying something. You should probably share your weight loss program with your friends. Well, if you had any. Don't you hate when that happens? Because you're about to die. How'd you even know I was sniffing around? Was you overhearing? Were you eavesdropping? You could just ask nicely. You don't have to resort to violence. I can't answer any of these questions, you know. Because my mouth's kind of preoccupied. It's like when a dentist asks you questions. I could give you plenty of that. I've got lots of that, actually. I wouldn't want to move my head at all if I was in that position. Well, they nodded. You're lucky you're so attractive, Senju Gahara, or we wouldn't put up with this. Ow! She hurt him anyway. Well, he's not a wuss. You don't know what he's been through. Staple's not really a conventional weapon, but I guess a very inconspicuous one. You could have just asked me without the violence. Seriously. It does appear that way, doesn't it? Good thing you have good healing. I wouldn't say it's nothing, but it's not too bad in the grand scheme of things. I got a bit distracted. Wonder if asking a girl that would count as Sekuhara. Yes, we want to avoid this happening ever again. I don't think she would do that. But it's good to know that that's the line we draw with this friendship. So he runs back. A lot of... Are you in elementary school, Hanakawa? You shouldn't threaten to tell the teacher. There's nobody else even in that corridor. And we had to catch up to her anyway, so it was justified. He's a very determined man. Do you understand? Oh god, she is packing. That's not quite what he had in mind, I don't think. I just want to bring you over to a friend's house. Maybe he could help you put on weight. Well, you'll find out. Just put away the weapons. Yeah, I kind of healed. Do I have your attention yet? Although it'd be kind of hard to see that in a dark mouth, but I guess she sees it just fine. And I hope you clean that up, Senjogahara. You made a big mess. Yeah, we definitely have her attention now. It's a long story, we'll tell it later in 3 movies. Yeah, he's a cool dude, you'll like him. Not what I would have thought about it, but okay. Yeah, I wouldn't exactly call him Moe. How would he know? Bad news for you, none of you are 3D. Yeah, of course they are. Yes. uh, they might call her Yandere if things take certain turns. Considering how scary she can be. In fact, I think that would be a bit more fitting for her than Tsundere, if I'm honest. Oh, you poor baby. You stabbed the inside of my mouth over almost nothing. Leave my nose alone, woman. Well, if she's only 5 kg, could she even lift anything like that? That's a good point, just have it all shoved up her sleeves. Who needs a bag, really? You really are a little bit scary, Senjokahara. But then she'd be defenseless. Yeah, we don't need you stabbing my mentor with a pencil. Yes, he's a smart man. You have a choice to make. Probably loses half of her weight dropping all that stuff. There's a tsundere line. I, I somehow don't believe you. Not exactly what he said, no. Oh. She really did investigate him before confronting him. As if she couldn't get any scarier. And you leave the Fire Sisters alone. You're no match for them. Yeah, I gotta hold hands, make sure she doesn't get lost. Getting very artsy here, of course. How considerate of you. Yeah, pretty much. Still hurt, though. Oh god, what the heck? I think we're breaking down. You know, this is why animators shouldn't take drugs. This is what we end up with. Although you can't blame an animator for taking drugs, but I think that's up for the individual to decide. But I don't think we're going in that direction, so calm down. There's something there, alright. Bicycle. Well, you know, that's just because he's so cool. He might be weird, but he's the guy for the job. That's what it comes down to. He's bringing home a girl. You're gonna give her the wrong idea. But I assume he's referring to Shinobu as the last girl? I got to assume that. Or is this a complete joke? Yeah, we met because I caught her and then she stabbed me with a stapler. That's the gist of our relationship. Itagi. Who do you think you are? Well, it's because he was saying it with a sarcastic tone intentionally. Oh, I don't think she liked that. Tell her Hitagi. I'm sure she'll like that better. What? I'm not good at math, don't ask me. Gotta love the banter between them. Oh, you mean Shinobu? Yeah, she's over there. She's great. Take a while to explain what she is, so... Gotta take his family name, of course. I guess. She's a girl. A girl vampire, sort of. I mean, she's still a beautiful demon. Just smaller. And weaker. Like, a lot weaker. Oh, a whole 5 people, wow. Halfway to double digits. No, he's not. He's legit. He's nothing if not lively. Yeah, it's best if she explains it. Okay, let's get her life story. Of course. Maybe someone crab sounds cooler. That sounds nice. Okay. It kind of does, actually. Well, no kidding. You don't know that. Leave it to the professional. Really? Schrodinger's god. Don't ask me. Yes, elaborate. Wow. This is getting a little bit awkward. Yeah, you just met her. Don't be making assumptions. You have no idea how violent she is yet. Well, all it did was take your weight away. It's not a big deal. It's kind of hard to read the subs when it does that sort of thing. That back and forth. Zoom in. Such lovely hair, huh? I think you can. Just give him a chance. You have nothing to really lose aside from getting your hopes up again, I guess. Continue next time. Next, it seems like an easy problem to solve to me. She's lost a lot of weight. Get a couple boxes of Twinkies and just shove them on in there. We'll get that weight back. So it seems like an easy problem to fix to me. But I'm guessing we're going to do something a bit more supernatural with this. Oof, but yeah, definitely an interesting anime. I still want to know who left the banana peel there. That's never going to be answered, is it? It probably wasn't Hanakawa because she seemed confused about the idea, so we can at least, narrow down and not her. Firstly, I think it was Kanmaru, if I had to guess somebody. But yeah, I think that is the biggest takeaway from the episode is don't leave banana peels around staircases. You could hurt someone pretty badly. You won't always be lucky enough to be a low-weight girl being caught by the protagonist. That doesn't happen to most people. I'm sorry to say. Stop bouncing the subs around. Quiz. Uh, of course, I could have predicted that. Yeah, but oh well. Okay, that was the first episode of Bakemonogatari. And yeah, this first episode, we were introduced to our main character, Araragi-kun, and his, his friend Hanakawa, and they're doing just regular culture festival, like schoolwork type stuff, as you do. But he had a bit of something to talk about, because earlier he had caught a falling girl because of a banana peel, you know. And that seemed, pretty normal for the most part, until you find out that she weighs, like, 5 kilograms, which I don't think is very much, but, you know, that would be kind of weird. But, yeah, Hanakawa knows a lot, so we figured we'd ask her about Senjogahara, and we did learn some stuff about her, that she's not exactly the most sociable person now, but back then, back in middle school, she was, so clearly demonstrating, just showcasing that something happened to change her, which you could kind of assume that that's probably connected to the weight thing in some way, And next episode, we'll probably get into what that was, most likely. But either way, you know, we gotta get that weight back on her. I still think my Twinkie idea is better than whatever Meme will come up with, but I'm sure what he'll come up with will work as well. And yeah, just the big part of the fun of the episode, of course, was the back and forth banter between Araragi and Senjogahara. You know, it's always just one of most of the best things about the show, really. And I still think she was a little bit harsh on how she dealt with the situation, you know, going up to Araragi after having him investigated, you know, and stapling his mouth and looking into his family so she could threaten them. I think that was a little bit harsh. You know, he didn't actually do anything to you aside from, like, save you from falling off the staircase and ask his personal friend a couple questions about you. Like, that wasn't a big deal. I mean, I feel like she overreacted a bit on that, but, you know, it's okay. I guess we can forgive that, you know. Especially because he was able to heal from the wound, so not a big deal, I suppose. Of course, other characters we were introduced in this episode were Meme and Shinobu. Meme kind of being Araragi's mentor, helped him out with various things, and continues to help him out with things. And Shinobu, the vampire that he was interacting with a lot during the Bakemonogatari movies. You know, now she's kind of a shadow of her former self, you know, a shell of her former self, but she's still around, you know. She has a name now, which she didn't have before. So, well, or a different name, I guess. I'm sure she had some sort of a name before. I think it was even said in the episode, but anyway, yeah, she just kind of sits in the corner looking all sad. Didn't really say a single word in the episode, really. But, you know, that'll come. That'll come eventually. She does talk eventually. But yeah, we brought Senjogahara here so Meme could help her with her issue, with her weight loss issue. She doesn't have a lot of faith in it. She's apparently dealt with con men before that tried to help her, but really just wanted to make a quick buck, you know, fraud. So she's clearly an example of once bitten, twice shy sort of thing. And she doesn't seem to be like the kind of person that really likes opening up to people, to strangers. So this whole thing might be a bit rough for her to really deal with, but Meme, he's a cool guy. He'll help her out. So I think she's made the right decision to come here and all that. And Araragi made the right decision to disarm her before she met Meme because she was packing. She was packing all right. Probably needs all that stuff in her clothes, otherwise she'd just float away. So, you know, that's probably it. And that's all I really had to say on the first episode. So yeah, you know, it's a great show, great characters. We just got started though, so we still haven't really gotten to the other characters. You know, there's still plenty of other characters to meet in this show, and I look forward to all of that. Thank you for watching, and a special thanks to Cnouki for supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you consider clicking the like button and leaving a comment, because that's a great and easy way to let me know that people want more. If you want to do something big to help the channel, you can support me on Patreon and get nice benefits like early access to certain videos. See you next time.